Stone here with Simon Says Social and the Systems Lounge, and I want to welcome you today to the 2017 Business Systems Virtual Summit, where you will learn all the systems that our speakers use to get things done. And today, I am going to be talking with you about 30 days of content creation. So, who am I? My name's Marissa Stone. I am your host, but I'm also your Powerhouse Systems Hacker. I help female entrepreneurs fall in love with technology. I do this through seminars, retreats, eBooks, online courses, webinars, one-on-one strategy sessions, and group masterminds where you get answers, not fluff, because I'm not really interested in speaking to you in theory and all of these ideas of what you might be able to do. I would much rather really dig in, get our hands dirty, and get the job done. And if that means you need a strategy or you need a system or you need to understand how to use a tool, then that's what it means. I help you get your to-do list complete and get all the tech savviness you can muster up and running so you can begin building that passion-filled life you've always longed for. Technology is the tool in this information age, and having a solid understanding of how to use it is the new currency. You absolutely have to have technology in order to work smarter, not harder. So today we are going to dive into 30 days of content creation, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. You got this. I can help. What is content creation? Content creation is the act of creating content that you are going to be sharing with your audience. Now, this content can be anything. And as a matter of fact, most of the clients that I work with already have a ton of content somewhere on their computer that they can go ahead and pull from. This might be in the form of articles or blog posts or white papers perhaps you've written, or videos that you've created, or online courses or checklists or to-do lists, or places on Facebook where you've simply answered questions. Content is everywhere, and it doesn't necessarily have to just be, oh, I've got to create something new every time. If you know what your audience is looking for and you've figured out what it is they want and or need, chances are you've already got some content that is going to support them, going to scaffold them, and going to help them accomplish their goals. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you are checking out. I actually have a list of, I think it's the ultimate guide of 50 content creation ideas, I think is what it's called. But anyway, click on the link below and you can grab that. Check that out and really think outside the box with regard to what content you are trying to create. So there's a couple of things that we need to consider when we're talking about content, right? The first thing is, let's just begin at the beginning, right? When you're creating content and working on content, think about doing it in batches. Now, why would you want to think about doing it in batches? Because Cognitive Psych 101, every single time you stop a particular task to switch over to another task, that costs you time. So if you know, for instance, I've got this summit going on, I know that I need a ton of content around this summit to be able to get it out there for people to find it. And that content might be in the form of graphics for social media, or videos that I create introducing people to what the summit is all about, or perhaps I touch base with some of my speakers and I have them do a little video or a little something around this this summit to get the word out there a little better. Perhaps we design a blog post. Like, you've got something coming up, something's getting ready to happen. It might be that the seasons are changing. We are now, diving into fall and the leaves are changing and all of these sorts of kids are back in school and all of these sorts of things are happening, right? You've got fall festivals and all kinds of stuff going on. So it gives you an opportunity to really think ahead of time, what is it that I want to create? And think about creating in batches. So one of the things that I'm going to show you in just a few minutes is how to utilize Canva and a list of content that I've already got up and running to create 30 days worth of content that I no longer have to think about. The second thing that you might want to think about is actually putting together something in a series. So For instance, if you are someone who teaches somebody how to blog, right? You might actually create a 3 or 4 step tutorial on how to get your blog up and running, how to really brand that blog, how to go through the process of creating blog posts, and then how to make sure that your affiliate links are included inside that blog content so that your passive income is coming through as you're posting and promoting that blog post, right? Those are all very different topics, even though the entire thread is all around blogging. Those are very, very different topics, and so therefore should be given their own moment inside the social space, inside that content creation process, right? And it's also, by breaking it down into a series like that, you create something that is digestible to your audience, because there's nothing worse than, okay, I've got this issue and I need a solution now, and I'm digging through tons and tons of other stuff that perhaps I don't even need in order to get to the one thing I do need, right? You don't want to do that to your peeps. You want to make sure that you're offering them what they need quickly and efficiently so they can get things up and running and move on with their lives, right? So the other thing that you might want to do is consider, when am I at my peak productivity? Now, this can be anything, and many of you have heard me say on this summit and in other places, my peak productivity might be early morning, it might be mid-afternoon, or it might be 1 a.m., you know? And sometimes it's just, you know, the creativity strikes and I just go with it. But a lot of times, most of us actually have kind of some normalcy to our creativity. So what is it? When is it that yours peaks, right? If you can create a schedule where you are batch designing in that peak productivity moment, you're going to get a lot more done, and you're going to knock it out quickly and easily, and it's going to turn out really great, and your audience is going to, you know, relate to it the way you're trying to get them to relate to it. It just works out better if you can work with your own natural peak creativity process. So the next thing that you want to consider is creating an outline and or a bulleted list of things that you want to get done. Now, I post a lot of quotes. For people that know me, they know I love quotes, right? Quotes are very, very helpful in helping us to, you know, create this mind shift around things that are going on, things like that. So one of the things that I've done is I've created a running list of my favorite quotes inside my Evernote. Now, you can be doing anything, right? It doesn't really matter. It's whatever your topic is and whatever your audience is going to respond to. But if you create that bulleted list or that outline ahead of time, what's going to happen is when you're sitting down to actually design, all of your components will be there. You'll have all the quotes that you're getting ready to share, or you'll have that bulleted list so you don't forget something, right? And it's really, really important to have that there, because otherwise you're going to be searching around and trying to find it. And what are you wasting? Time. And a lot of us, you know, you may only have a few minutes to sit down and really put this content creation process together. So making sure that you have all the components in place is going to be very helpful. Likewise, the other thing that you want to make sure that you have put in place are your design elements. Now, what are design elements, Marissa? Design elements are all the things that make up your brand. So this might include your logo, your hex codes, right, for your colors that are inside your brand. Any images that go along with your brand. For instance, you know, if you're a blogger, you might have pictures of computers and technology and blogs, versus if you're a rose gardener, right, you would have images of roses and gardens and things like that. So it helps you, by having these design elements in place, it helps you to be able to get up and running quickly and easily inside that content creation scheduled appointment with yourself, because all of your components are together and you're ready to start designing. So I'm going to show you what some of this looks like. So let's hop in. Give me just a second as I share my screen. While I am doing this, you guys may want to make sure that you blow this up, because what's going to happen is sometimes it's really difficult to see the font. or see what's actually being presented on the screen. I'm going to share my screen. So here we are. Now, as you can see, we are inside my Canva account. Canva is a fabulous DIY platform, and it really helps us to create items really quickly and really easily with very little downtime and a very, very short learning curve for learning how to accomplish this goal of creating your own graphics. So let's dive in. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to choose just the regular social media template. The reason I typically start here is because I have Canva for work, I can simply resize from this design once I get it set up, and I don't have to worry about anything else. But let's begin by just choosing something. Now, the cool thing about Canva is it does set up over here on the left-hand side. There are tons of options for what you might want to create, right? There are tons of examples. There are tons of really cute, really cool, templates that are already set up over here. And all you have to do is open one up and tweak it with your own colors, your own style, whatever else you want to put on this. It makes it really, really easy for you to be able to do so and get yourself set up quickly. Let's see, I'm looking for a particular design that I actually like to use for a lot of my quotes, and I think I just found it. Okay, so this is just a template that we can use to do whatever we want with. Now, the very first thing I'm going to do with this template is I'm going to change the name up here at the top, because right now it says social media untitled design, and we don't care about that. Like, we don't want a design that doesn't have a title. So this is going to be social media quotes, October 2017. Okay, I'm gonna say done. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is, this image in the back is not really what I'm interested in. So I'm gonna do a couple of things. First, I am going to get rid of these text boxes, because I'm going to actually put in my own text box in just a few minutes. And I don't need them clouding my judgment right now. So let's go over here to my uploads, and let's find some sort of, oh, here's one, some sort of image that I want to put. Let me begin by deleting this so it opens up. So as you can see, there's a couple of different things going on here. One is, now I have a box with which to put my image. There it goes. There it goes. Ta-da! Now, notice that it's very, very dark, and I don't want it to be that dark. So as you can see, this image right now is a little bit transparent, which is making it look kind of dark. And I don't want it to be dark. I want it to be very bright and very white. So I am going to change that. The next thing that I'm going to do, and I put transparency, as you can see, on 100%. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this color to my own color. Now, inside Canva for Work, you're actually able to upload your own colors, right? So your brand colors, and mine are already on here in different areas. And so I am able to just go pull straight from this if I want to. So that is one of the pluses about working inside Canva, is that once you decide on your brand colors and everything, it's all right there for you. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the top, and I'm going to find my logo. And I'm going to pull my logo into this image so that it is here and on every one of my images. So once again, my image is, all of my images are branded with my logo and with my colors, right? So I'm going to set it right down here on this phone so that it kind of pops against that black background. Now, you can do this any way you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly like I'm doing it. What I'm showing you how to do, though, is really put something together that is quick and easy to use and quick and easy to design on. So the next thing we want to do is we want to choose some text. Now, because these are quotes, I want something that's going to be able to handle a word or two of text. And this right here looks like it might work. Typically, when the text shows up, it's already in some color that they have chosen. Because we don't want to use their color, we actually want to use our own color, then I am going to change that, and I'm going to get rid of this part of the text down here. I don't need that part. I need this part up here. But typically what you want to do is, once the text has been added, change it to your colors and change it to your font, right? So my favorite font for my brand is Josephine Sands, and it's going to change real quick. And then I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, but I'm also going to make it bold so that it really stands out. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is move it. So I'm going to move it so that it is in the middle of this block, because this is where I want the actual quote to be, right? Is right here in the center. And actually, I think I am going to get rid of that and do my own text box. Sometimes it's actually better to create with your own text box and not use someone else's pre-designed text box, because it does kind of lock you in there. So let's go up to text, and we will just do some subheading there, and we will change the color, and we will go down here to Josephine Sands, which is my favorite, and we will begin. Okay, so now we have some text going on. Now, all I have to do to complete this, well, there's two things I have to do. One is I've added my first text, but now I need to also add my URL. And I always put my URL down here at the bottom. So that everybody can see it. Again, Josephine Sands is what I want my logo in. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to move it over, and I'm going to make it bold. See how much better it shows up if it is bold? There we go. And if that sticks out a little bit too much for you, you can also put it in your brand color, which is kind of a nice little touch. Okay, now here's the cool part. So remember when I told you that I had all of my information together over in an Evernote document? Well, here you go, right? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to pull one of these quotes. Now, as much as possible, I tried to make sure that I have all the information about the quote. Sometimes there's a quote and it ends with anonymous, but most of the time I really try to go out of my way to make sure that the person who actually quoted what it is I'm sharing is listed on the quote, because you have to give people credit, right? Otherwise, you're out there and you're posting things and people are going, where in the world are they getting all this stuff from? So you want to make sure that you're posting you're giving credit where credit is due when you create content. So here we go. There is my first post, and I think let's see if this looks better. It probably looks a little better bold. I'm not sure that I'm feeling this color though. So let's try this nice brown and see if that's better. Did it change? I can't tell. That's much nicer. Now look at that. How beautiful. Now, here's the beauty of having done all of this, right? I've got my design. I've got my logo. I've got my URL. I've got my quote right directly in the middle. Guess what? I'm going to click on this link right here and copy this page. What's going to happen? Boom. Now I have another completely branded item that I can add an additional quote to, right? So here we go. Look how easy this is. Now I'm saving myself a ton of time by just copying my page that I already designed and adding a new quote. Inside Canva, you can do up to 30 items in any given design. So before you know it, you've got a month's worth of content right here. It's already branded. It's already in your brand colors. It's set up so that it has your logo. It has your URL. Everything is complete. Now all you have to do is save it and download it and get it ready to go. Now, let's say I'm done and I want to download this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to download it as a PNG. A PNG is a really, really nice file. It's an image file and it's really nice for sharing online. This image file will actually download as a zip file because there's more than one item inside it, right? So I want to make sure that when I download it and save it as Social Media Quotes October 2017 so that I know once it's downloaded, it's inside that zip file. I open up that zip file and then we are ready to go. So that is pretty much it, folks. That is how you create 30 days of content in no time. So what'd you think? Definitely stick around because in the next interview, we are going to be talking all about a bunch of different types of content that you can create in the same way. And I'm going to take you through things like creating eBooks, creating presentations, creating other such items that you need to be able to batch design on so that you get things up and running quickly and easily in your own company. Definitely click on the link below and take advantage of that ultimate content creation guide that I'm sharing with you today. And if you want to check me out online, go to simonsays.social and you will see all the information all about me. Check out my resources tabs. There's a ton of freebies inside there so that you guys can start getting your systems in place to get your business up and running very, very quickly and very, very efficiently. So for those of you that are part of the All Access Pass, stick around. We're going to be going much, much deeper later on in the next interview, and I definitely want to see you there. For those of you that aren't, thank you for being part of the 2017 Business Systems Virtual Summit, and I will see you in the next interview. Bye, everyone.